It's time for another closer look at a key Kentucky Derby contender. And here's your host, Magic.
What's up, MagicRacingNews.com, here to talk to you about 2022 Kentucky Derby contender early voting, who may or may not go to the race depending on what trainer Chad Brown wants to do. Now, as of today, April 18th, Chad Brown's still on the fence about sending early voting, who has qualified, to the Kentucky Derby, or waiting and sending him instead perhaps to the Preakness Stakes, which is 2 weeks after the Kentucky Derby and is leg 2 of the American Racing Triple Crown. If it sounds odd to you, remember, number one, Chad Brown did do this before with success. He had a horse named Cloud Computing in 2017 who could have gone to the Kentucky Derby, but they thought maybe that's a bit too much. Let's go to the Preakness Stakes, which still is a grade 1 race, still has a nice purse, still part of the Triple Crown, will probably be an easier field for him to face, and sure enough, the horse ends up winning in a thrilling edition. Maybe that's what we see happen with early voting. For this video's purposes, however, we'll consider that he's going to the Kentucky Derby. Chad Brown does have 2 horses aiming for it right now, the other one being Zandon, who won the Bluegrass Stakes, and we have a preview for that over at racingdudes.com at youtube.com/racingdudes if you want to find out more information about him. As of today, April 18th, assuming early voting goes to Kentucky Derby, he's my number 2 choice to win the race, right behind Epicenter, who, by the way, if you want to find out my thoughts on Epicenter, right up here in the upper right corner, click that box. It'll send you over to the Epicenter link as well. You can find out why he is my number 1 pick. But since 2014, going back to when the point system era pretty much began, the winner of the Kentucky Derby, or I should say the horse who crossed the finish line first in the Kentucky Derby, always, in all 8 instances, either set on or close to the early pace. And hey, guess what? Early voting, he's a need the lead type. Oh, guess what? Forbidden Kingdom, Classic Causeway, 2 need the lead types. They both backed out of this race. He's the only need the lead type that could be in the race, and that makes him very dangerous. This pace is softening by the day with the horses dropping out of it. Epicenter has won gate to wire, but he showed in Louisiana Derby that he can stalk and pounce, and assuming that the draw doesn't completely throw things into disarray, I would assume that's the tactics they decide to go with in the Kentucky Derby. Early voting looks like he might be the only one out on the lead, and he's only had 3 starts so far. I did mention that, but being a neck away from being perfect in all 3 of those starts, broke his maiden going a 1-turn mile, 8 furlongs. That's not an easy distance for a horse to debut at, but he succeeded, got the job done. He then faced the difficult task of stretching out from a mile to 1.1 miles while facing winners in his second start. Oh, by the way, the track was really muddy, and yet gate to wire winner of the Grade 3 Wither Stakes, very confidently handled, and the race, the Grade 3 Wither Stakes, actually has come back pretty strong. The second place horse Unoho won the Grade 2 Rebel Stakes in his next start, and the 4th place horse Grantham was later second in the Grade 2 Tampa Bay Derby. This horse's lone defeat, it did come last out in the Grade 2 Wood Memorial. However, first of all, Mo Donegal, the horse who beat him, was in form, was seasoned. Early voting, we hadn't seen him for 2 months now since the Wither Stakes. They decided to skip the Gotham because it was a 1-turn mile and probably too short of distance for early voting. He showed a lot of a good, strong effort, I thought, in the Wood Memorial, and the Kentucky Derby will be his second start after that slight break. Also, let's take a look at his breeding. He's by Super Sire Gunrunner, who was 3rd in the Kentucky Derby. He's also out of a Tis Now mare. If you're not familiar with American race breeding, this basically means this horse is bred to keep running as long as they'll ask him to go on dirt and do it very well. And because he does his best running on the front end, that means you give early voting a favorable draw, you give him a clean break. I mean, this horse is going to do what my boy Good Magic tried so hard to do in 2018 to do, and that is give a Kentucky Derby victory to trainer Chad Brown and jockey Jose Ortiz, 2 surefire Hall of Famers eventually someday. But hey, what do you think? If early voting goes to Kentucky Derby, is he a candidate to win? Could he go gate to wire? Are we going to get a good price on him? Do you think that maybe the Preakness Stakes is the better choice for this horse? So let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. No bad opinions, except the one that you hold back. Hit like if you like the video. Subscribe to the Racing Dudes YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you get alerted when we have all of our coverage for the Derby and Oaks coming up. We'll see you at the track.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels. Never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,